What is up, guys? It is episode 36 of many. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you can see, maybe, we've got nobody here with me. It's just me and then G in the producer chair. Today's going to be kind of a little practice episode for us, which I know I've said a dozen times before, but we're going to try to video just me talking, see how I do, see if I look at the camera enough, see if I'm looking away from the camera enough. When we get this up and running, and we're kind of using a lot of this content for shorts and reels and that kind of stuff, we'll probably have multiple camera angles. So then when I'm looking this way, if you're watching the video, you'll know that I'm looking at a camera over here versus turning to my left and looking at the camera here. So again, just kind of some things going through my head as we're doing this recording, just to kind of see how it goes. Mike? Good? Okay. Making adjustments as we go here. So anyways, today's episode is probably going to be a little bit shorter. We're going to kind of practice again and just kind of do some talking here. So I wanted to share some of our wins this week, personally, business-wise, team-wise, kind of everything. And then we'll kind of dive into that and why I'm going over these with you. So I've got a long list of them here. Let's see what I can go with. So equipment sales for Priority Fitness has been doing pretty well. This year, we've kind of taken a different step or a different direction where several of us are posting on Facebook Marketplace. Several of us are posting to past customers and that kind of stuff. A lot of us are reaching out to past customers and clients. So we've moved a lot of used product this year for Priority Fitness, which is a huge win for us. That's been something that year to year we land a couple big sales or whatever, but this year we're trying to move more product more often, so that's been an overall W. We've sold more equipment lately. We've got our new tracking system or inventory system for product, thanks to Nolan. So we are moving in the right direction there with the equipment sales, which is just a huge potential revenue source for Priority Fitness. So that is win number one. Win number two, we'll just kind of try to dive into Priority Fitness here before I go on anything else. Priority Fitness, we've got a massive Planet Fitness install this next Monday. It's going to be a huge install for us. We're going up to St. Paul, Minnesota, and it's going to be probably 4 semis worth of gym equipment in. We don't have to do anything extracting, so that's going to be a fun one. We go up Sunday afternoon, and again, we're recording this on Friday, so you're going to be hearing this on Tuesday, July 1st. So we're recording Friday, the 27th of June. So we're going to go up there Sunday and install all day Monday. There will probably be about a dozen of us on the install. Those are always fun installs. We've got a big crew of guys. We're all working together, having a good time. We'll probably grab a nice dinner Sunday night, and we got an Airbnb and all that kind of stuff. So big W there. It's just going to be a massive install. The guys got all the product in earlier this week on Monday. They've got all that stuff built ahead of time. So overall, the job's looking great. So that's another win. Another win for Priority Fitness is we've got Precor giving us some more installs, which is huge. We haven't done a whole lot of work for them lately. We've been doing like some small hotel stuff, but we've been seeing some more commercial work come in for them. So that's another win for Priority Fitness. Another win for Priority Fitness. We just got another new guy that started 2 weeks ago or so. He's kicking ass, so we're happy to have him on board as well. So Priority Fitness has got some good wins going, and kind of starting there. So we'll dive into Grizzly wins. Actually, no, I've got a couple more Priority wins here that I've got. Sorry about that. G and I went to Rockford this past Tuesday, did 2 installs there, and then another drop-off at UW-Madison on the way home. It was a smooth day. We did well, kicked ass, another win. Yesterday, again, we're recording on Friday, so yesterday, me and G went down to Chicago area, picked up a new piece of equipment for us from one guy's house. Then we went up to the Navy base there, up just south of Waukegan area, I think, in Illinois. And we did pull out another 6 units there. So another win. We got some good stuff. We're going to get that stuff kind of refurbed up, and probably half that stuff or almost all that stuff is going to go into our facility. So another win there. Grizzly wins. Our back section in Watoma is all framed out, so it's ready for drywall work here. Electrician's got to come in and finish some stuff, and then drywall will get done. We'll get it painted, and our hopeful timeline is mid to late July to kind of have that section done up for our training clients. So I'm super excited to see that done. What other Grizzly stuff? Our 4th of July apparel has been on point. We've been kicking ass with our 4th of July stuff. I thank you for everybody who has supported us this far. We've got one more week left to kind of pre-sell some of this stuff. Obviously, this will be the week of 4th of July. You're going to hear this on Tuesday, so really we only have a couple days. But if you want to support, again, we've got ice shakers, hats, T-shirts. Hit us up for that. 10% goes back to the local VFWs. All the rest of the money helps support the gym. So keep us in mind if you do want any 4th of July apparel. I'm going to dive into some personal wins. I have been running as of last episode. Chase and I talked about it. I ran twice last weekend. I have gotten a couple more runs in this week, and I intend on running potentially today, tomorrow, and Sunday as well. So that's kind of a good win for me, just kind of getting dialed there and getting my own fitness in check. My diet has also been extremely dialed. I have been tracking every single calorie for the most part. Obviously, it's hard. I shop by the cow. I get a quarter cow, half cow. I don't have the exact nutrition facts on that meat, but we're just kind of assuming. I know the beef is 80-20, or the ground is 80-20, but the steaks, obviously, I guess I'm just talking out loud here. You get a ribeye steak that's 12 ounces, you're going to have a general idea of how many calories are in that. But again, is there more fat or less fat on this specific ribeye? You never know. So doing a pretty good job of keeping a good round figure on my calories. So that's been awesome. I use the app. Let me double check here for you guys. Chronometer. So if anybody wants to look into that, that's the app that I've been using. I like the way it works. I think tracking your calories and kind of getting an understanding of what you're putting in your body is a good idea for everybody. It's something that I've been doing more recently. Usually what I do is I get in the habit of it for a couple weeks. I really like it. And then I just kind of know how much food I'm putting in my mouth and serving sizes. But I think I'm going to kind of stay pretty strict on measuring stuff out and just having a really good idea of calories in versus calorie out. So obviously on vacation, stuff like that, trips, it's not going to be as dialed, but that's okay. That's what those trips are for, kind of get a little refresh, restart in there and kind of get back on. So I'm not saying go on vacation and eat a bunch of junk food. I'm just saying I'm probably not going to have my calories dialed into a T. So anyways, let's go to... I did weigh in this morning. I hopped on our InBody. If you haven't used the InBody before, definitely worth checking out. The InBody is an awesome scale that gives you some more in-depth reading instead of just saying, oh, I weigh 170 pounds. It will give you your body fat, your dry lean mass, your water weight. It'll kind of, if you have the app too, it'll even break down to body fat versus lean mass in like your limbs and your trunk area. So you can see from the last InBody to your most recent InBody, weight loss between your arms, your legs, if things are not symmetrical, that kind of stuff. So super cool. My win there, the last time I did the InBody was May 31st, and I decided to wait a month before to do my next one. And I've been weighing myself at home, and I'm like, I'm just, 170, 172, 168, just kind of hopping in there, not seeing anything crazy on the scale. And I think that's a very common thing for people to do is they see the scale not move, and then they get discouraged and they quit the gym, or they decide, well, it's not working and I'm not changing at all, so why does it matter? The InBody scale gives you enough metrics to really understand what you're looking at and what's going on with your body. I highly recommend it, especially if you're trying to lose any weight or gain any muscle. If you want a true determining thing, put the scale away at home, do the InBody once a month with us. It's a game changer. I personally gained 2 pounds from May 31st to today, June 27th. I actually gained, I believe it was 3.3 pounds of muscle mass, again, roughly. And I believe I lost 4.1 pounds of body fat. And I'm also holding a little bit more water than before. So I actually gained like 2 pounds on the scale, which again would be discouraging to the average person. But from the InBody, I could really just see where the gains were. I added some muscle to my trunk area in quotations. I lost some body fat there as well. And yeah, so if you're trying to lose body fat, if you're trying to lose weight on the scale, if you're trying to get stronger and gain muscle mass, hit us up for the InBody. Your first time's free. I think it's $20 or $25 every scan after that. We also have a membership that you get them free, unlimited, or you pay for it, but it's unlimited scans. So anyways, super cool, big win for me. I would also like to mention, I didn't throw this out there, but we had the Oshkosh Brat Fry last weekend. It was an ALS fundraiser. I believe we talked about this last episode as well briefly. Just another win this week. I'm just kind of going through all of this week's wins. So the Oshkosh Brat Fry was a success. Thank you to everyone who showed up to that as well. I know that's primarily our Oshkosh audience, so I doubt I have too many listeners here on the podcast for that yet. But thanks for anybody who showed up for that. It's a good cause. Again, that was for Jacob Colburn, my business partner. His dad had passed away of ALS back about 9 years ago, so it's just a fundraiser that he does every year. And if you didn't make it this year, definitely consider marking on the calendar for next year. Usually it's a weekend in May or June. We just have to kind of book that a couple weeks before we do it. So anyways, now you're probably wondering, why is Colton just saying all of these wins and why is he, bragging about all of this stuff? I feel like my message here, one, we all need to be thinking about what our wins are on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. What things are we proud of? What things are we happy that we accomplished? I personally prioritize my health and fitness first. I work out in the morning. I get steps in the morning. I fast in the morning. Sometimes I take a cold shower in the morning. Sometimes I get my sauna in the morning. Sometimes I run in the morning. Sometimes I can get all that stuff done before 9 a.m. and I've already won the day, right? So I want you to start thinking about your wins, what you want to accomplish, what things you did accomplish today. I know I've talked about this in the past, but you go home and you think about that one thing that ticked you off or pissed you off and you're stuck on it. Something that I was doing is I would actually write down my daily wins at the end of the day, so I just knew, hey, it was a good day, right? I accomplished all of this stuff. It's easy to win the day when I've already won it myself in the morning. If it's before 9 a.m. and I've gotten all these things completed, it's easy to feel like the day is, no matter what happens today, I've won, right? Because I prioritize myself first. So the reason behind me stating all of these wins, and then there's plenty more wins throughout this week, but I just kind of rattled off a few, is I believe since I have prioritized myself, my personal fitness, health, I'm reading, I'm doing all these things that I'm winning and I'm succeeding at life in my own eyes, right? I don't care what you guys think about me. I'm winning in my own eyes. I'm becoming the best version of myself. I'm putting myself first. I'm doing these powerful things for me. And I hope you watching, if you guys are on Snapchat or you're watching these podcasts, hopefully I inspire you in some way that you want to be the best version of you as well. But the message here is that since I've done all of these things and I'm winning at my personal life, that my mental status, my mental clarity, my well-being, because my diet's on point, because my fitness is on point, because my sleep routine is on point, my water intake's on point, everything that I'm doing personally is dialed. It is leaked out into everything else. Everything else feels like a win. My businesses feel like they're doing phenomenal. I'm happy to hear from every single person on my team. I'm happy to hear what's winning, what they won at today. Like, there's nothing that I feel like can get in the way of that because I've prioritized myself first. So again, the message is put yourself first, care about you, become the best version of you, and everything else in your life will change for the better. A lot of people have a poor sleep routine. They eat before they go to bed. They're eating processed foods. They're staying up late drinking caffeine, and then they've got sleeping problems. They're not working out. I know how bad I feel after I don't even work out for a day or two, right? I miss 1 or 2 days. I can just feel flabby, or I just feel like my body's not in shape, but just basically like that flabby. Like, you work out on a daily basis or day to day, every other day, you kind of hold a pump a little bit better. Your body just feels a little bit more in check, a little bit more toned, whatever you want to use for your words. And so by prioritizing yourself, everything else in life, I just feel like kind of falls into place. Everything else makes more sense. Your mental, and working out in the morning alone, or going for your run in the morning, or doing your sauna, or whatever that routine is, you could probably just take a cold shower and eat good breakfast and feel better. But having some wins before you even get the day started, I think just opens that day up way better. If I miss a workout before I go into work, I might have a little bit more of an attitude. I might be a little bit more pissed off. I might not be as happy. And again, that mental aspect of I won, I already did something hard today, it's life-changing. So I encourage you to do that. Take that on. Focus on you, put yourself first, and become the best you. So I do want to, let me see what else I've got here. I wanted to say a couple other things. Today's going to be a little bit shorter of an episode. I'm talking to you. I'm practicing this thing where I'm talking to the camera. I'm not talking to Chase over here. So I just want to get some time out in front of this camera, get some time out on this podcast, and just see how it goes. So let's see. I will say, I guess my last couple things that I wanted to mention, and I've brought this up the last couple of episodes, is being the absolute best. I know I was, again, maybe coming off as braggish last episode, but I'm confident that nobody worked harder than me when I was in school. And I'm trying to take that approach back on. I want to work harder than everybody else, but it's a competition for myself. I push myself. I'm competitive. I want to be the best. And when I say I want to be the best, I want to be the best me. I want to be the best Colton. I want to prove to everyone else that, I don't care what anybody else thinks, right? But I want to prove to the outside, I want to prove to me in 5 years' time, right? Like, you have to think of that, right? If you're standing outside your shoes, who do you have? I don't care what everybody else thinks, but I want to prove to myself in 10 years' time, like that 27-year-old Colton, he kicked ass. He did everything he could to be the best, right? So the challenge is within you. You need to realize, for longevity purposes, for your day-to-day wins, for accomplishing what you want to accomplish this year, you need to put yourself first. And I actually just saw, I think it was Andy Frisella, I was listening to him, or maybe I saw like a quick video. He said, if you win enough days a week, you win the week. If you win enough weeks a month, you win the month. And if you win enough months a year, you win the year. And if you win enough years, you win at life. And I like that because that's all it comes down to. That is totally the 1% better mentality. That is being the absolute best version of you. You don't have to win every day. My goal is to win every day. That should be everybody's goal. And we're all going to have that day where we get kicked aside or whatever. We get ran over a little bit, but you get back up and you keep pushing. And that's how you win at life, right? So hopefully you guys take something from that. I do want to add the one thing. I know I've been talking about this as well, but this has been a huge thing on my mind. One thing at a time. What one thing can I do to better myself today? What one thing can I do to better myself this week, this month, this year? Find that one thing that matters to you. Find that one thing that can help get you from point A to point B the fastest, and everything else will just kind of happen. Having a long to-do list isn't helping anybody. Figure out what's that one thing I need to do today, and then anything else that happens is the bonus, right? So again, I kind of take this approach. What's one thing in my fitness regimen that I can do today? Eat good, work out good, whatever. Prioritize my workout. What's one thing I can do when I get to the office today that needs to happen? So think about that. Keep the mentality of one thing in your mind. Find that one thing for you, whatever that may be, and go out and attack it. Be the best you. Be the best version of yourself. We're here to be 1% better every day. And that's kind of that. That's kind of the message for today. I want you guys to think about, I kind of sound like I'm just beating the drum. I'm just kind of saying the same stuff over and over. I'm a broken record, whatever they say. I just don't think everybody understands the importance to the game of life as far as, and I'm not trying to come off as wise, right? I'm young. I'm not saying that I've got all of this wisdom. But as far as longevity goes, I mean, I've worked with clients that are older and they need repair. They need help. Fly land right on me. So think about your health now. It's never too late, but you're better off starting early than later, I guess, right? So if you're in your 20s and you're listening, if you're in your teens, 30s, 40s, whatever it is, start working on those decisions now. There's nothing healthy about the processed foods that America serves us. I'm not saying you have to go carnivore like but just figure out what works for you. Stick to whole foods, stick to your personal health routine, whatever it is, figure it out and be the best you, right? So I'll leave you with that. I do want to say out loud that G and I are going to order some road mics. So when we do our long road trips like Chicago this week and Rockford this week, we can get some podcast and vlog style content on the road. I think it's a good way to get some messages out there. All day yesterday and all day on Tuesday, we were just kind of listening to podcasts down there. I like to listen to other people's podcasts so that way I get a better sense of what I need to do, or, oh, hey, I like how they do this or that. So I want to kind of include that in my routine as well. So I'm saying it out loud to hold myself accountable and mainly to hold G accountable. We need to find whatever travel set that we need so that we can start recording on the road a little bit. We are going to Minnesota this weekend, so that would be another opportunity for some road content. Since we are recording, I'm looking at potentially next week to get some new guests in here. I know Nolan and Kyle and Gavino are kind of high on my list. I know I've got to get Ellie in here as well. So it'll probably be a lot of like staff style people, but whoever I can pull if I'm in the office and it's time to record a podcast, if I can pull somebody and just kind of come down here and do one quick, that's the goal. So I have nobody in order specifically how this is going to happen, how it's going to play out for everybody, but I am going to be pulling people down here. We are going to be recording a podcast for all of them. It's going to be their first time on a podcast as well, so it's going to be practice for them, but I think you guys are going to really value the content that we're doing there. I know another thing we're looking at doing is we're going to continue releasing our podcast every Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to get far past that 100 episode mark, but we are going to, when we start doing our road content, for example, we're going to kind of label the titles a little bit differently so people know if we're, for example, on the road 1, on the road 2, on the road 3, whatever. Garrett's the producer, I'm not the producer, but we're going to start titling our episodes a little bit differently. So maybe if we do a fitness talk, we're going to try to kind of figure out what our pillars are, our columns are, the categories that we talk about on our podcast. And we're going to start kind of having like fitness talk or nutrition talk or business talk or finance talk, right? We're going to have these different segments of the Grizzly life. These are all things that living the Grizzly life, living the Grizzly way kind of all filter in there, right? Like I believe in having good finances. I believe in having a good fitness routine and nutrition regimen, or nutrition routine and fitness regimen, good sleep routine, like all of these things, right? And then business too. Like I want you all to be as successful as possible. I want whatever you consider successful, that's what I want for you, right? I want you to strive to be the best you, personally, professionally, whatever that is. So we're going to try to bring all of those categories together and then separate them within the podcast so then you kind of know, maybe you just like to tune in just for the finance stuff, right? You can kind of hop in or maybe you're joining us episode 50 and you need to go back and listen to all of our finance episodes. You'll be able to find them easier that way. So we will be doing that. If you have any 2 cents you want to put in that, let me know. But overall, I'm super excited with the direction the podcast is going. Obviously, I'd love to have our studio done because when that's done, this is going to be like next level. It's going to be so cool in here. Anyways, what else did I have to throw in there for you guys real quick? Sorry. For those of you watching, I can tell I'm just like doing stuff with my hands. And it's kind of interesting to catch yourself think about. When people are like public speaking and they touch their face or they're jittery or they're moving stuff around or whatever it is, or, sometimes people rub their arm, whatever it is. It's just kind of interesting to pick up on those cues. So trying to talk, think, look at the video aspect, or maybe look off into the distance over here. You can just kind of see that things kind of tense up on accident. So anyways, I know you need my socials. Snapchat is Colton.Burt, COLTON.BURT. Instagram, Facebook is ColtonBurt19. Email is marketing@fitnessgrizzly.com. I thought I had one other piece of information I want to give you guys real quick. I'm blanking. Well, I think we'll leave you there. I'm going to say have a good weekend, even though you're listening to this on Tuesday. I will update you guys Tuesday on how well our planet. Well, I will record early next week. Again, we're pre-recording, so I will record early next week. You guys will hear Thursday how our Planet Fitness install goes, and we will catch you guys on the next one. You guys have a fantastic day, and make it a great week. Have a good one.